And good morning. Welcome to Local Talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com. I am your host, Trace Knott, here this morning, and joining me here in the studios of Nextdoor, Michael Phelps, the county manager of Granville County. Good morning, my friend. How are we?
Good morning, Trey. Thank you.
Absolutely. How is everything? We're going to get this out of the way. How has the 2020 pandemic treated you and your family, but also Granville County?
Well, for my family and I, we are still doing well. No concerns other than it's been an unusual year. For the county, it's been a little challenging. We've got a lot of community cases, obviously, that impacted not only individuals, but certainly operations, both local government, businesses. So it's been a challenging year, but the folks in Granville County do an outstanding job of rallying together to help their neighbors. And so I think for the most part, most everybody is managing through the pandemic as best we can.
Absolutely. Again, Michael Phelps right here in the studios of Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com. I'm your host, Trace Knott, and Local Talk, weekdays at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. So I wanted to bring you on to really talk about the growth that Granville County has done in 2020 in a year that's been with turmoil, with the pandemic, COVID-19, businesses closing. What I've seen since I've been here, we launched September 4th was our official launch day. But since then, the growth and the communication has been outstanding. So let's kind of take the positive side of Granville County in 2020. What has been so great about the 2020 year here in the Granville County area?
Well, COVID obviously was all-encompassing for most people, but there's a lot that's still been going on. There has been a lot of growth in Granville County. We continue to see housing go up, especially here in the southern end of the county. Also at the county seat in Oxford, we just continue to see residential growth. We've had commercial growth. It's kind of been underplayed, it feels like, just because it didn't make the top of the news stream, but we've had businesses expanding. We've had new commercial businesses open up during the pandemic, which is phenomenal, and they are doing well. So just a few things off the top of my head, things like Strong Arm Bakery.
You talking about some good food?
Oh, some really good food. That's one of my downfalls, I believe. But anyway, those type of things have continued to go on, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk a little bit about something other than COVID.
Oh, absolutely.
So we appreciate that. But the growth in Granville County has continued, and if you're in the southern end, you probably see that with congestion on the street. So we continue to work through those kind of measures, things that come up as a result of growth. So it hasn't all been all bad in 2020.
Again, you're tuning in to Local Talk right here on Nextdoor Radio. And I should have started with this. What is the role of county manager? I guess I should have started that at the beginning to introduce who you are. Right. But what is your role here in the Granville County area? Well,
as county manager, my role really is, the simple way is sometimes I'm the guy that gets yelled at. Yeah. But in truth, what I am is I'm a liaison between local government and the citizens, and I'm an advisor to the policymakers. That's the elected officials at the county level. I work to help bring about information. I'm in it 24/7. That is my job. I dive into the issues. I work with the various departments. There's approximately 25, 26 different departments within the county. Some answer to county management or administration. Some are elected, like the sheriff, the register of deeds. So we work in a collaborative effort with those departments. And we work very closely, as you can imagine, with municipalities and with the public school system and the charter system. We really kind of impact a lot of areas that would impact people's lives in local government. But my job as county manager is really to kind of be that link between citizens and the elected body, as well as the various departments. So.
Fantastic. And Michael Phelps right here on Local Talk. He is the county manager here in the Granville County area. I'm looking at some numbers in your website, which is granvillecounty.org, and 59,000 population residents here in the Granville County area, which is a huge number. People, if you look at it on the map, so that doesn't look that big, but if you look at the numbers and by facts and stats, it's a pretty large number, and it's like you mentioned, the growth of it is continuously grow, and we can only expect that in 2021 as well.
Yeah, we do expect when the census data comes out, and that'll come out in the summer of 2021. We wrap that up in 2020, so that's one of our keystone moments to kind of process the census through the pandemic. But, we expect that number to top over 60,000. Who knows what the actual number is until they get the count, but we have again, with the growth that's been continuing on, I really believe that 59,000 number is a little bit short.
You're exactly right. Again, Butner, Creedmoor, Stem, Stovall, and the county seat of Oxford, where this number is coming from. But I'm looking forward to kind of see what growth it does take in 2021. Now, remaining in the 2020 year, again, we're looking forward to this last day of the year, which is outstanding for one. But what is the bright spots? And we talked a little bit about it off your head that you mentioned. But we've seen a new animal shelter come in town. We've seen the jail cell come in. What has been the really the positive of 2020 here in Granville?
Well, you hit on the highlight, or one of the big ones, the law enforcement center complex, which houses the detention center, the sheriff, animal control, their facility, and our 911 office have all moved into that complex. And people saw that coming up at the end of 2019 and 20. What people don't realize maybe is that for me that's been a decade-long process, capping off of a 10-year project. So I'm kind of excited about that, but it certainly has been a bright spot because it does show that Granville County is moving forward. And what I kind of want to get across is that we're constantly thinking about where we need to go in the future and not just reacting. There's a lot of planning that goes on that doesn't get communicated for whatever various reasons, but there's a lot of looking forward that goes on, and then the timing of when things take place is given a lot of consideration. So the law enforcement center, animal shelter, 911, that's certainly one of our bright spots. You may have seen some activity at our Granville Athletic Park. It's commonly referred to as the Gap, but we're working on phase 3. It adds some new elements of recreation. The Granville Athletic Park is kind of central to the county geographically, but adding some elements there, and that is on the tail end of the project. We had hoped to get it completed by 2020, by the end of 2020, but we're going to creep into the early part of 2021 before we can actually call it finished. But it's a fantastic addition to the park, and one of the things we're most proud of with that project is the inclusive playground area. We learned through probably in 2018 or 19, before we got that too far along, that some of the play areas that we had were not actually accessible. And so really working with trying to design a play area that those with or without mobility issues can enjoy at the same time. So you don't have different facilities, it's all one facility, but it's an inclusive play area. And that's going to be a real neat attraction for Granville County. It's something we found that was lacking, and it was citizen involvement that brought it to our attention. And so it was one of the best examples of how local government can respond to local needs. Yeah,
and the great thing about what I've seen out of Granville, even when we go to school boards meetings, when we go to just events itself, the Granville County community stands up for what they believe in, and if they have an opinion, they express it. Well, the communities that I've been involved with back in the years past, they're afraid to be able to do that, and I applaud Granville County, and just for that reason alone, because it's to me it's outstanding. With community itself get involved, you can see a lot more done, and stuff like what you just mentioned can really, because my kid is 3 years old. I mean, so that he can use that. We live right outside of that, so that's perfect.
That's a perfect spot.
That's perfect. So now, great things here in 2020. We say goodbye. Today is the final day of 2020 here in the Granville County area, but of course across the world. Again, you're tuned in to Local Talk right here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com. Michael Phelps, the county manager of Granville County, joins us here in the studios here at Next Door. Now, moving into the 2021 year, okay, bright things ahead. Thank you, Jesus. We're here in 2021. Now, moving forward, you just mentioned about the Gap, finishing some projects there. What else can we look forward to the most moving into the new year?
Well, and that's really been the challenge. As I mentioned, we try to do a lot of planning, obviously, in 2020 with the change in how we do meetings, how we do interaction with the public, how we have our conversations. It caused us to learn new tricks, new trades, new talents, and so some of our planning efforts had to be put on hold, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean things are stopping. Obviously, with our move to the law enforcement center and moving offices around, it's going to create the opportunity to make some additional office movings within county government possible. In other words, really kind of addressing a lot of space need study issues that have been identified. So it's not the only thing going on, obviously, but it's one of the big challenges for us is to get everybody kind of moved around into new office areas, get new office areas kind of renovated to accommodate. And it's not just about moving people, but it's actually about moving people so that services can be provided better. One of the things that we're working on, we don't have the solution for yet. It's kind of on that early stage, but one that we're hoping to move along pretty quick in 2021 is really, as we mentioned earlier, the growth in the southern end of the county is phenomenal. Nobody can deny that. It's kind of growing by leaps and bounds, but there's a need to bring some of the county services more to the population area that's growing. And so really we hope to be able to bring about some county services to the southern end of the county. Hopefully that'll save some people some road mileage to address the service needs that they have. But at the same time, while we hope to move some, we're also going to be planning to do others over the course of, like I said, maybe another decade. You never know how long it takes sometimes. But that's what we look forward to now, is really saying with the census numbers that come out in the summer of 2021, that's going to cause redistricting for election districts, so the county commissioner districts, the school board districts, those kind of things change. They're going to need to be redrawn in the fall of 2021. And then that will also certainly impact how we go about moving forward where the population is. And so it's really going to, using the data that's been collected over the last several years to identify not only where the population is growing at, where it's located at, but what services are needed within that. So a lot of planning for 2021 is on the horizon, along with, like I said, some inter-office moving around. Will probably take up the bulk of our 2021 year.
Man, again, just another busy year for
Mr.
Michael Phelps and the county manager here on Local Talk and nextdoorradio.com. Anything that we want to make sure that you let our listeners know before we kind of wrap things up? Again, it's been a great, to be as best as we can, it's been a really good 2020. Growth is always a good thing, no matter what year it is, whatever struggle that we go to. Growth is always a good thing. We've seen a few things like that this year. You talk about a little bit of some moving some pieces around and upgrading a few things in 2021. Now, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Is there any business with the economic development? Have you seen anything come into the works that are coming into 2021 that you can talk about, really?
Really, there has been a lot. Let me just put it that way. There's a lot of times with economic development, I don't even know everything because the way the process works, we're not actually told. We do work closely with the Commerce Department at the state level. But what I can say about 2020 is the economic development activity has been very robust. Pandemic has not slowed down. If anything, it's sped up some of the conversations that we've had. And what that means for Granville County moving forward into 2021 is there's a lot more opportunities coming available for us to respond to. So we look forward to some really good things. As I mentioned, we've had expansions and new businesses starting even during 2020, and we anticipate that continuing on in 2021. There's a public hearing on Monday night at the county board meeting to talk about an existing industry doing an expansion.
Oh, so, nice. Okay.
Like I said, these things are continuing to go on, but it has been very robust, and we see it as a positive for Granville County and the growth of Granville County.
It starts with an idea, then it goes into a plan, and then you make it happen. I love it. I love it. Again, this is Local Talk here on Next Door Radio. Michael Phelps, thank you so much for joining us here in the studios. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for the city of Oxford, Creedmoor, Stem, Butner, and the county itself has done tremendous asset to me, and I thank you guys so much for that. Anything else we want to make sure we discuss today?
Just want to say it's a privilege to be here today, and I appreciate this venue, this opportunity to get the message out. It's one of the things Granville County is concerned about, is how do we share what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, but trying to get the word out is always a challenge. Yeah. So thank you for this. Thank you for this as another opportunity to help get the word out.
I live in Granville County, I live in Oxford. I love Granville County, and I love the direction that we see Granville County going. So thank you guys so much. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
by the way.
Thank you so much.
Again, this is Local Talk here on Nextdoor Radio, nextdoorradio.com. Until next time, God bless. You be the difference while somebody smiles today. We'll see you later.